Hello everyone, this is Dushyant Kumar from EduMag UPSC. Today we shall see the general studies topic human blood and its components. So now let's get started. What is human blood? The best definition for blood would be it is the fluid connective tissue that circulates throughout the body. To understand this definition, we need to know a lot more about blood components. So what we will do, we will see the meaning of this line a bit later. So now let us see a simpler form of this. And blood is a body fluid that circulates throughout your body. So the blood is one of the fluid inside your body, and this circulates throughout your body, right? So how do it circulate? We know that we have the circulatory system, and the circulatory system consists of arteries and veins which carry the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood respectively, and through this system of circulation the blood is circulated through your body. And the next point is it supplies necessary substances to cells like glucose, oxygen, etc. So the necessary substances to cells, when we see the word cells here, your entire body is made up of cells, and the cells are in need of the glucose and oxygen to make energy, right? For what we call as a cell metabolism. The word cell metabolism is a very extreme word, and so we'll see about this in later part. We'll make a separate video on this. And for as of now, for a cell metabolism to happen, we need some glucose and we need some oxygen, and here it is the blood that takes this glucose and oxygen to the cells for the cells to make some energy, right? So this is one of the functions. And the second point is it transports these waste products from the cells. So the waste products are generated because of the cell metabolism, during which the energy is produced, and these waste products are excreted from our body. So this is a normal definition of blood, that it is a body fluid, it circulates throughout your body, and it supplies the necessary substances to your cells for the cell metabolism to take place and energy to be produced, and the waste products that are produced will be carried back and excreted outside. So this is the basic definition or the basic function of your blood. So now we will see what are the different components that are present in our blood. Our blood is broadly classified into two parts, the first being plasma and the second is the blood cells. Here the blood has two components, the plasma and the blood cells, where the plasma is the liquid part of your blood and the blood cells what we have are the solid part of your blood. So now we will see in detail about plasma first, and then we will go to the blood cells. Okay, so what is plasma? The plasma is the single largest component of our blood. It is around 55% of the total blood. And how do this look like? This looks like a clear straw colored liquid, and you need to understand that this is the liquid part of your blood. So what is the plasma made up of? The plasma is almost water. So 92% of the plasma is water, and it also contains proteins which constitute around 7%, and it also contains electrolytes, some dissolved gases, because it carries the carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide reacts with the water and it may form some dissolved gases. And it also contains the nutrients like the vitamins, the lipids, the glucose, etc. And it also contains the metabolic waste, because your cell has produced some waste during the aerobic respiration that happens within the cell, and these metabolic waste which are produced because of the cell metabolism are also carried back by this blood. So these metabolic wastes are also a part of the plasma. So these are all the components that are within the plasma. So what we need to understand from here is almost 92% of your plasma is water, and it contains proteins, it contains the rest all components. So here if we can summarize, the plasma is the liquid part, it is the single largest component of your blood, and it looks clear straw colored liquid, it's almost water. Now we will see the next component, the blood cells. The blood cells, this component is also called as formed elements, because the formed elements are like they are the living part here. Okay, the plasma is just a liquid and it doesn't have any life. But when you come to the blood cells, the cells are the living part of your blood, right? So cells are the living part of your blood, whereas plasma is the non-living matter. So because the blood cells are the living component, you call them as formed elements. And now these blood cells are the solid part of your blood. As the plasma is a liquid part, the blood cells are the solid part of your blood, and they are the living component also. And within these blood cells, we have different types of cells again, and they are the erythrocytes, what we term them as the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles. And because of this red blood corpuscles, your blood is red in color, and that is all because of a protein called hemoglobin, which is present in the red blood cells. Means the red blood cells are coated with this protein, so that is why your blood looks red in color. And the second one is the leukocytes, which are nothing but the white blood cells, and these are the cells which are responsible for avoiding any infection that happens to you, and it fights the foreign substances that enter our body. And the next one are the thrombocytes, which are nothing but the blood platelets, and these platelets are the reason why our blood clots. Platelets are actually not the cells, but they are the cell fragments. Fragments here means the pieces. Okay, they are the pieces of another cell called as megakaryocyte, which are the part of our bone marrow. This is how the blood cells flow within our blood vessels. We can see all the RBC, WBC and the platelets. These are the red blood cells that carry oxygen to various cells of our body. These are the platelets that help in clotting of blood. And these are the white blood cells that protect us from foreign substances. And finally, this is the yellow or the straw colored plasma in which all the blood cells are suspended. If we compare the sizes of all these different kinds of blood cells, the white blood cells are the larger in size. Okay, rather than the red blood cells and the platelets, the white blood cells are the larger in size, and the blood platelets, being the fragments, means being the pieces of megakaryocytes, are the smallest elements in our blood cells. And even within the white blood cells, we have many different types of classifications, like the myeloid classification and the lymphoid classification, and we shall see about these classifications in a separate video on white blood cells. But as of now, the larger among the white blood cells is the monocytes. Okay, the monocytes are the blood cells which are the larger ones among all the blood cells, and these all blood cells or the formed elements constitutes around 45% of the total blood component, the plasma being 55 and the formed elements being 45. And when it comes to red blood cells and the platelets, they don't have a nucleus. Red blood cells don't have a nucleus, and the platelets being cell fragment, they doesn't have a nucleus at all. And the white blood cells are the only blood cells that have a nucleus. And finally, all these blood cells, the red blood corpuscles, white blood cells and the platelets, all are produced in the bone marrow. Now we'll see how do we separate all these components from the blood. What is the process for this? We have a process called blood fractionation, and in this process we separate the blood into its various components. So for this process, what actually happens is the blood is collected into a test tube with EDTA solution, and this test tube is placed in a centrifuge. Okay, centrifuge is a machine which works on the principle of centrifugal force, and as the machine rotates with higher speeds, the larger or the heavier particles move away and leaves a soft particle in the center. So here the heavier particles are the blood cells, means the red blood cells and the white blood cells and the platelets, and the plasma, which is a liquid part, is the lightest part among your blood. So what happens is the blood cells, the red blood cells, white blood cells and the platelets settle down and the plasma floats. And by this principle of centrifuge, we separate our blood into different components, and this whole process is called as blood fractionation. If you can see here, the plasma which is on the top, which is of the straw colored liquid, is around 55%, and the center layer, which is called the buffy coat because of its appearance, is around less than 1%, and the bottom one or the heaviest part of your blood is the red blood cells, which are around 40 to 45%. This is all about what is blood and what are the different components of blood, and in further videos we will see about each blood cell and each about plasma in detail. Now we will see the definition what we have seen in the starting for blood in detail. Blood is a fluid connective tissue that circulates throughout your body. Okay, right? Now what is the fluid connective tissue here? We need to understand the word fluid connective tissue. So if we see here, what we will do is we will separate all these words and we will see the meaning of each word individually. So what is fluid? Here the fluid represents the physical state of your blood, right? So your blood being liquid, it comes under the fluid state, so the word fluid has come here. And the second word is connective. See, your blood circulates throughout your body and this connects all the different organs in your body, right? It circulates from your lungs to heart to all the body parts like your brain, your spleen, your stomach, your liver, everywhere, right? So it connects all these different body parts together. So thus the word connective has been used here. And we will see the last word tissue in more detail, because this is something you need to understand more clearly. So the word tissue we will understand by using a simple example of watermelon. Let us take a watermelon which is cut into a piece, and here the red color pulp indicates the extracellular matrix, right? Okay, let us assume this word, the extracellular matrix. Okay, the red denotes the extracellular matrix, and this extracellular matrix is the non-living component of a tissue. Okay, this is a non-living part. This doesn't have any life. This is just a support. Okay, this just provides support. Okay, and now the black color seeds which are embedded, okay, the black color seeds which are embedded in this extracellular matrix are the cells. We compare this black color seeds with the cells, which are the living components. The cells have life, the extracellular matrix doesn't have life. Okay, so the living particles are embedded in the non-living extracellular matrix. So this is called as what a tissue is. Okay, the living component is embedded in the non-living component. Okay, the cells are embedded in the extracellular matrix. This is what a tissue is. So we know that the cells are the living component, and from where does this non-living component come? With what do the non-living extracellular matrix made up of? So in our body, the extracellular matrix is made up of a fiber called as collagen. Okay, it is made up of collagen fiber, and within this collagen fiber all the living cells are supported, and this combination of the collagen fiber and the living cells forms a tissue. If you can see at the figure below, you can see the blue dots represent the cells, and the remaining structure which is supporting is the collagen fiber. And listen, your whole body is made up of tissues. Your heart, your liver, your lungs, your skin, everything, your muscle, everything is made up of tissue, right? So now we will have a small doubt with why the blood is called a tissue. Actually, it doesn't have any solid particle. It doesn't. From where did this extracellular matrix come? Okay, now if we see it closely, the extracellular matrix is nothing but the plasma, and which is a non-living component, and this plasma supports the living cells. Okay, the blood cells are the living component and the plasma is the non-living component, and these living cells are supported by the non-living component, the plasma. Okay, thus the cells are suspended in the plasma, which together forms a tissue. So that is the reason why your blood is called as fluid connective tissue. And one more important thing is that the blood is the only fluid tissue found in your body. It is the only tissue which is in the form of fluid. So this is the reason why your blood is called as a fluid connective tissue, and this is the most appropriate definition given for your blood. So blood is a fluid connective tissue that circulates throughout your body. So in this video we have seen what is the main definition of blood and what is tissue and what are the components of blood, what is plasma, what are blood cells, what are the types of blood cells, and we have just seen an overview. And in the upcoming videos we will see in detail about each component and what are the functions of your blood, what are different facts about your blood, and many other things. Follow this video series for more important information for your general science topics. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.